See where they're going. I think she's probably proven already. Emily sees pretty well out here during the day. She just sees more better than everybody else at night time. So you might know that already. What you might not know about ours though is they don't see in colour. So Millie is out here seeing you and me and everything else in black and white. Now, it's not really a disadvantage, it might sound like it. These birds have given up their colour vision and in exchange they see about 35 times better than any of us. They've got amazing eyesight. To go with that, they also have incredible hearing as well. Of course, Millie has got an ear on each side of her head. But with ours, we're very easy set a little bit higher up on the other one. We what we call lopsided or offset ears. So it means that Millie's up here left and right, and she's also able to hear up and down at the same time. That's really handy. So imagine it's so dark.
Wow.
So it's so dark she can't see her prey. She actually finds her prey just using her hearing. So her hearing is incredible. So these birds can locate their prey if it makes noise. Good work, man. If you watch Millie there too, you'll see she can keep her body still and then she just moves her head. So she can actually turn her head in either direction from after 270 degrees. That's a really long way. So keep everything nice and still, just move their head, work out where their prey is, and then fly down and drop it. Now you can probably hear Millie as well out here today. When she's been flying, she's been making this little chirruping noise. That one there. And that's a pretty happy noise for a bird like this. So Millie's not really working that hard out here, and she's getting all her favourite food. So life is pretty good. If she was hunting though, she'd be as quiet as possible. And these birds, when they are actively hunting, they're virtually silent. Ours have really special feathers. The edges of their flying feathers are frayed, and that muffles the sounds of their wings beating. So their prey doesn't hear them coming, and then that helps the hearing as well. They only have to listen over the sounds of their wing beats. You might think with all those adaptations that these birds would be doing really well out there. In northern Australia, there are lots of beautiful barking owls. Unfortunately, here in Victoria, you look worried, it's okay. So here in Victoria, the bird you're looking at is an endangered species. We actually only have about 50 or 60 pairs of these beautiful birds left breeding here in Victoria, so it's not going very well at all. Before, it's a different story, isn't it? The barn owls are really successful here in Australia
Purposely banned.
and in other parts of the world as well. One pair of barn owls can catch and kill anywhere up to 2,000 mice a year. We've seen one pair of owls around. They can do a great job in keeping the rodent numbers down in an area. And while barn owls are a real success story out there, there's barking owls like Millie who are actually facing some really big challenges in the wild. We do actually need a little bit of protection around. And I think for the breed, Millie has done a fantastic job. You might want to go around the horse too.
James mentioned the barn owls before. Barn owls are actually one of the birds.
Thanks, Kev. Now, just in the wings thing, just pretend you've never seen that before because Kev's going to show you. Just settle down, mate. The most important adaptation of all birds is what, Kev? Oh, that's a surprise, wasn't it? Now, we have also looked at a few raptors today, and I mentioned they use their feet to catch and kill their prey, and they do have fancy footwork. And so does Kevin, right? Kev can show me his right foot and your left. Maybe before, so I know people are left and right, a bit confusing, but Kevin shows pretty well. Now, we've got a quick question for the crowd. I want you to yell out if you can remember. Okay, when we had the owl out here, I mentioned that owls turn their heads a long way around. Can you remember how many degrees an owl turns its head? Go it out, mate. Oh, it's more than 35. 270, well played. Kev, half around, can you see? 360, look at that, amazing. Didn't actually move his head, did he? Just moved his whole body. Sometimes we get to this bit of the show, I get the feeling Kevin's a bit cheeky. I think he's just having a little laugh at me. You guys have seen a few raptors today. Some people think the birds of prey are scary. No one really thinks the parrots are scary. What about you, Kev? No, does anyone think Kevin's scary? Nobody, really. Okay, I think Kevin's scary. He's one of the more terrifying animals we have at Healesville Sanctuary. Kevin, believe it or not, is as terrifying as a tiger. So, pretty big roar for the bird. Who's scared of Kevin now? Anyone? I think he's not really very scary. He's just a bit of a show off. Do you want to show off your dancing? Oh, that's nice. I does think that he's a bit special, so he does like a little bit of special treatment. Do you think you guys could wave bye-bye to Kevin for me and say bye, Kev?
Bye, Kev.
That's pretty good. You want to say bye as well? That's a big round of applause too. Kev, get hit off.
Jeez, man. That's good.
Okay, now you may not realise it, but right now we are all in the territory of the master adapter, and indeed the true ruler. I think I might have. It is, of course, a wedge-tailed eagle, and today we want to meet a female wedge-tailed eagle, and her name is Magra. And you'll see when Magra joins us out here that she's a big bird. The other thing to have a look at is she's also a really dark eagle as well. Now, wedge-tailed eagles, that's a sign of their age. When they're young, they're a nice sort of light brown, honey colour over their head and their shoulders.
Jeez,
each
man,
of them molt
that's
their
a big
feathers
one.
and grow them back darker each time. It can take them to be about 8 or 9 to be as dark as Magra. You'll see when she starts to fly around, so she's dark right over her body. She's nearly 21. Okay, these birds can easily live to over 40 in the wild, beautiful Magra, and even up to 50 in captivity. See that nice coloration there. Right, now, What we might do with Magra was have a look at some of the features of wedge-tailed eagle. She's got these big, powerful shoulders. You see every time she flies, she beats those wings. She's also, of course, got that huge curved neck-carrying beak. But don't worry too much about the beak. What you really worry about here, you guys look a bit worried. It's okay.
It's a big, really big
Because it's all
one.
about the feet. So she's got these huge feet with the big curved talons on the toes. And of course, that's the main weapon of these birds. It's what they use to catch and kill their prey. It's also what they use to defend themselves against other eagles as well. Now, a prey for a bird like this one is typically small mammals, and I think I've just proven when I say small mammals, I don't mean small children. I mean things like little rabbits and bandicoots, so really pretty small things like that. They are quite capable though of hunting something up to the size of a wallaby or a small kangaroo. And of course those things could weigh 12 or 14 kilos. Magra is a big bird, but she's
coming
big
this
enough to fly, so she is as light as possible. She's actually under 4 kilos when we weighed her this morning. So they're very powerful hunters and tend to be much bigger and heavier than themselves. Look at those big feet coming through. Now, as well as eating mammals, they
Oh,
do
look at this.
other birds occasionally, so cockatoos, they're pretty big birds like that. Also a lot of reptiles, a lot of dead stuff as well. In fact, these birds, and the black-breasted buzzard you met earlier in our show, they're really important in our environment. They clean up a lot of dead animals.
Good shot.
That's
It's
important
coming right
these
into
days. Through much of their range, about 80% of what eagles are eating is actually
Go,
rabbits.
Matthew, go.
Of course, rabbits were introduced to Australia. They've been a real pest. So the more eagles we have, the less rabbits we have.
Wow, man.
All right, now, it is a nice warm day today. Wild eagles are actually a good idea to look up throughout the day. We have wild eagles that live close by. We see them quite regularly. So maybe I'll get to see them just cruising around. Now, of course, if you do see wild eagles, it's unlikely they're going to be as close as Magra, so they won't look as big. Because the things to look for is the shape of the tail. You'll see every time that Magra lands, she'll fan that tail out for you. You'll get a really good look at it. So it is, of course, their most distinctive feature, the easiest way to identify them in the wild. The other thing to have a look for, you see the wild eagles, they're gliding and soaring, so they're not flapping, they're just cruising around. They typically have their wings up above their shoulders. So that mixed with the wedge-shaped tail right about there will help you identify them in the wild. Now, if you do see that wild pair of eagles, what you might notice is that one of the birds is bigger than the other one. Now, most of the daytime raptors, these actually the girls like Magra here who are bigger than the boys. And with wedge-tailed eagles, the girls are bigger by about a third, so it's quite a size difference. You'll pick it really easy if you do get to see that pair. So Magra is usually my early warning system. She can spot those wild eagles sort of 4 or 5 kilometres away on a day like today. So she really does have amazing eyesight. These birds as well can see something the size of a rabbit if it's moving from over 1 kilometre away. So they really do have incredible eyesight. Now Magra's done a great job too. You might give her a round of applause. She's going to head out from there. Just like a wedge-tailed eagle, we all have our own turf as well. What we need to remember is we share this land with lots of other living things. Now there is room for all of us, but sometimes we do need to make a stand to protect the wonderful diversity we're so lucky to have here in Australia. Now usually what we'll do with our bird shows, we'll get to this point, normally Magra's headed home by now. You coming with me, sweetheart? That's good, that's just what I wanted to happen. Just make sure everyone's still awake. Alright, so that's okay, Magra's just going for a little fly, and you see she's looking up, so I'm just wondering what she's looking at. So these birds can spot those other raptors, the wild ones, well before any of us. So often, it looks like they're staring at nothing, but really there's always something up there. It's just we can't see what it is. So I'll just give Magra a moment. So here's my early warning system, so you might get to see those wild eagles today. Of course, we do have lots of other wild raptors as well that live in this area. So those wild eagles, they'll often come and visit our shows. They're not really looking to hurt our eagles, they're really just looking to intimidate them, just to try and push them out of their territory. Of course, Magra's there going, are you kidding me? This is my territory. I get my food out here every day. So we don't really get territorial battles. It's really just those wild ones just trying to push Magra around a little bit and just sort of intimidate her. So what they do is come in over the top of the arena. If they spot Magra, they might come swooping in. So they'll tuck their wings in, come in really fast at her. They're not really looking to hurt her. But just the last moment, they'll put their big feet out and say, look at me, I've got big feet. You need to get out of my territory. So what Magra might do is actually go, well, actually, I'm a female wedge-tailed eagle. I'm a pretty big unit myself. I've got really big feet. You need to get out of my territory. So occasionally, I really just